Tonight, more alleged victims come forward in the Penn State child sex abuse scandal. And assistant football coach Mike McQueary talks for the first time to Armen Keteyian.
Describe your emotions right now.
New York police evict the Occupy Wall Street protesters from the park where the movement started. Will they be back? Michelle Miller is covering. Dr. John LaPook on a new drug that can raise your good cholesterol. And you hate those airline fees for checked bags. Now Mark Strassman tells us those fees could be creating a security risk.
This is the CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley.
Good evening. We're being told tonight that more victims have come forward in the Penn State child sex abuse investigation. Our chief investigative correspondent, Armen Keteyian, has learned that the state police are vetting the claims of others who say they too were sexually assaulted by former assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky. Sandusky has already been charged with assaulting 8 boys, at least one of them in a university locker room. The scandal has cost Coach Joe Paterno and the Penn State president their jobs. Armen Keteyian is in State College, Pennsylvania tonight with another development in the case. Armen?
Good evening, Scott. On a day those victims came forward, we got a glimpse in a brief interview into the emotions of a man at the center of the scandal, Mike McQueary. From the moment the sex abuse controversy erupted, assistant coach Mike McQueary has been out of sight and hasn't spoken. He's a key witness because it was McQueary who had told the grand jury that in 2002, he had seen former defensive coach Jerry Sandusky rape a boy as young as 10 years old in a locker room shower. An act, according to court papers, McQueary reported to then head coach Joe Paterno. Today, he spoke for the first time since the scandal broke.
Do you have any idea when you think you might be ready to talk?
This process has to play out. I just don't have anything else to say. That's all.
Okay. And then just one last thing. Just describe your emotions right now.
All over the place. Just kind of shaking.
Crazy?
Crazy.
And you said what? Like a
snow globe.
Like a snow globe.
Yes, sir.
Right. Last Friday, McQueary was placed on indefinite administrative leave by Penn State, keeping him away from Saturday's game, in part over concerns about his safety. Last night in a phone interview with Bob Costas, Sandusky said this.
I say that I am innocent of those charges. Well, I could say that, I have done some of those things. I have horsed around with kids. I have showered after workouts. I have hugged them, and I have touched their leg without intent of sexual contact.
Today, Pennsylvania attorney Ben Andreozzi, who represents one of the alleged victims, said his client was extremely disappointed by the interview, and it was 100% false. In an interview yesterday, Andreozzi described the claims of his client.
Can you characterize the kind of abuse your client allegedly sustained?
Severe. Over a period of time, he suffered severe sexual abuse. Mr. Sandusky built a relationship with my client, and I believe that he used that relationship with the Second Mile program and with the university to his advantage, so he could essentially stalk and prey on these victims, including my client.
According to court records, McQueary was never questioned by the police after reporting the assault. But according to an email obtained by the Associated Press today, McQueary says he stopped the assault and then discussed it with the police. Scott?
Armen, in that brief conversation you had with McQueary on his porch, part of that was off camera. I wonder what he told you.
Well, Scott, he's very rattled by this whole experience. Off camera, he was telling me how concerned he was about his personal life, his personal safety, and the future in coaching, because obviously he's caught in a very difficult situation here. I think the word shattered or shaken really operates here, because Mike is just in a state where he really doesn't know, it appears, which way to turn.
Armen, thank you very much.